hope that works better.
Huh. That's a really weird line. So Jeff fetches for a Thespian stage off of Knight.
This looks like I'm going to try to make it a 2020.
That's not going to work out terribly well, considering that Steven has a Wasteland.
No.
That seems like that should never be your go-to against
Suniac, thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. All right, now we're getting some people in. Excellent.
All right.
Thanks for sticking around, guys.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. For some reason, our Go Live notification was just wrong, and it's hard to get people to come in and watch Legacy when they think we're going to be opening cards.
Mm-hmm.
My mistake.
All right, second Mother Rooms. Yeah, I think this is a little bit hasty on this line. Like, you're not losing on the board.
No.
You should probably just be trying to stop whatever Steven's doing before you set up a kill of whatever kind that you're going for. You have plenty of lands to go for.
I mean, is there a possibility that Steven doesn't respect it, though?
Yeah, he might not, but...
If he doesn't play Wasteland, then he could go get it right now.
Sure.
And that's probably a kill.
Alright, so...
See, wouldn't you respond right here?
Yeah.
Like,
I would.
Like he's cracking this. This
Cracking
is where you
for
want.
one,
This
here's
is where you want to
go,
get
right?
Dark Depths.
Like, do it right now. Yeah, activate your moms first, but while you're doing that, might as well, like, crack your fetch and go make it 2020.
If that was the plan, he should have done it. I mean, I guess there's still a possibility that Steven doesn't play Wasteland here. That would be strange to me.
I mean,
Does he have it?
I thought he did. I was pretty sure he had it.
Mana floating.
This is gonna be the get.
Yeah, you've got to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Here's a Dark Depths, 10 counters. Got a floating mana here, so he gets to keep up Wasteland if he wants, or you know, whatever,
Sure.
keep up whatever. Doesn't really matter. I think he will get this game with a 2020.
All right.
Only Pinky, yes, people are here. I mean, apparently.
We're here. We're here for you.
Well, we'll get some more people in. Usually they trickle in as your time zone it gets done with your FNMs.
Mm-hmm.
Usually starts off kind of slow with round one, and we'll get some more people in during our later rounds.
So Jeff takes that game. I guess he had the read.
Pikachu emoji. I couldn't love it anymore. Yeah, but welcome in, Only Pinky. I'm not sure if I've seen you in this chat before, so welcome. All right, let's check up on what's going on in our other people. You haven't been in an FNM since you moved to Florida.
You should find some. I'm sure there are plenty around.
Yeah, there should be places. Yeah, there always are. Now the question is will your LGS actually support Legacy?
True.
That's the thing.
Very true.
Most don't.
All right.
But
well, we're doing things over here. Drew is doing some things. We've got a Gristlebrand in the graveyard. We've got two LEDs
double
in play.
LED.
We've got double stage in play. We've got a Bayou and a Polluted Delta.
He's one piece off either way. So he either needs a Dark Depths,
yeah,
or he needs something to get back this Gristlebrand, like a Shallow Grave or
sure.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's
All
a
right.
Shallow Grave. Okay, and Surgical in response. And I think we might see another Shallow Grave in response here.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's what my heart tells me to do. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So
All right.
so surgical fleet of fizzle, right? It's not it's it was targeting the Gristlebrand. It's not going to get anything. Gristlebrand's going to come into play. It has haste. It
Okay.
means business.
Now, do you crack or do you respond?
Do you crack both
Do
LEDs
you crack
now?
LEDs now? He's got a lot of life to play with, and
does.
he's probably going to be able to at least kill Jace.
He's
He
why would
should be able to win the game on the spot here, though. From this spot would be my guess.
why no crack on LEDs though? If he wanted to win the game now, he would have cracked the LEDs, right?
It's possible that he's still able to go off by reanimating another combo
Okay.
piece, like a Children of Corliss or something like that.
The Tin Fins are out.
Yeah, I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's played a land yet this turn.
I think he did. Wasn't it the second Thespian stage?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Only Peaky, that's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy the stream.
They also do usually run a one of on burial rights, so they could get it that way, which would be kind of cute.
That would be adorable.
Here we see Gristlebrand attacking Jace. No surprises there. Gonna gain 7 life, and I would not be surprised to see another 7 cards drawn.
Yeah, Dominaria does look epic.
Here we're gonna crack, I think, is what Drew's thinking.
So he doesn't find what he needs.
Sure.
So he's gonna discard everything.
So we're gonna float 6. Discard hand. Crack.
Lots of black mana here.
Everything
Discard.
to graveyard.
Yeah, discard a bunch of things. So we've seen 3 shallow graves already. There was one already in his graveyard,
Sure.
and then he had to use 2 of them to get another Gristlebrand.
So I think you're gonna float 3 black and 3 white,
3
although
white.
it could be 3 black and 3 green. They do run Living Wish as well.
Okay. Is that a Sylvan Safekeeper that I just saw? That'd be interesting.
Don't know.
Okay,
So
Dark Ritual.
Ritual. All right, black mana up to 5.
Entomb. Here we go. Here we go.
Entomb for Children of Corliss.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Are you ready? So he's already lost 14 life this turn, right?
Yes. And Exhume. Children come back. Sack children. Gain 14 life.
No worries, only Pinky. I didn't actually think that you've been playing since you were 89 years old. No worries. I got you. I just wasn't sure if it was 8 or 9. They're about the same, so. All right, 7 more cards. Here we go.
Looks like
Or
he's counting his library.
okay.
No, he's
No, I
drawing
think he's
14
drawing.
cards.
Yeah.
Draw 14. All right. What can I do with 14 new cards in my hand?
Get another Children of Corliss. That's what you can do.
Or another reanimation spell. All right, Dark Rit. 7 mana in pool. That looks like another Exhume. Just do it again.
Yep.
So another way that they can win here, sometimes they are playing a Lab Maniac in their their sideboard. They can Living Wish for Lab Maniac and then draw from an empty library off of Gristlebrand activations and win the game.
So he would need a pedal. He would need a pedal to make that work.
Yeah, he would need a pedal.
Or
They
no.
also run. He could do it off of another LED and a Unburial Rights. Both are cards that they run.
So the only thing that could mess him up with that is if there were 5 cards left in his library and one of them was the Lab Man, right?
Right, but he runs the Labman side, so he just runs it off of Living Wish.
Okay.
So he would need, if that's green floating, there's a pedal, by the way.
Okay.
And another LED. Sometimes
Pedal.
they also run tendrils or something like that. Storm count's pretty high.
I think a Tendrils would do nicely here.
Yeah.
He has absolutely cast enough spells to get the kill. 2 Exhumes, 2 Exhumes,
3 Dark Rit,
3 Dark Rit, 2 Pedal,
2
1
pedal.
Yeah, I think so. And this is still the turn that he cast 2 Shallow Grave.
Yep.
So
2 Shallow Grave so far. 2 Exhume.
in here, we are about as much in this game as Calvin is. We're all just spectators.
Very true. Very true. Calvin just gets to sit there with his arms crossed and look and say, "Well, you got me."
well, yeah. You got me.
Am I dead?
All right, show it. Show me.
Am I dead or are you dead?
It's one of the two. There's probably not a whole lot of in between here, is there?
Not a ton. If this all fizzles, Drew's pretty much out of library. He's facing down Deathrite and a Strix, which will be a minimum of 3 damage at 5 life.
Okay.
Be pretty hard to come back from here. So, Shallow Grave, Living Wish. There's the Living Wish. We're going to Living Wish. Finding...
Laboratory Maniac.
Laboratory Maniac.
Use pedal.
We're going to crack pedal. And in response, we're going to... Exhume. We're going to exhume and then crack.
Exhume, crack. Yeah.
Cool. He's just kind of doing that, and then he's saying, I've got extra mana floating. The thing is, he needs more life, I think.
He had more life off the second children.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because he got children back again.
Yeah.
So sure. He wasn't actually at 5 there. He had plenty of life.
Definitely plenty of life. I forgot about the second activation there. Wow.
2-0.
Doing powerful stuff.
All right, let's jump back. Let's hang out and watch a game 3 here. Looks like a little bit has already happened. We've seen a couple cantrips on Steven's side, and we've seen Scrib Ranger hit the graveyard, as well as a Delver already starting to beat down Birds of Paradise on Jeff's board. It's not doing a whole lot at the moment, but we'll get to see what they have in hand, what they have in store for the rest of the game.
Magic makes no sense. Birds are supposed to eat insects.
Duh. You got this so wrong.
Yeah.
That bird doesn't.
So down comes Ground Seal.
No, that's Choke.
No, it's Choke. That makes a lot more sense.
Choke?
Choke's gonna get dazed. And
I would pay for that
with the bird.
Yeah.
And do you have a second thing? I mean, just returning an island is
all it really
fine
takes.
for Steven. But
this is one reason I've had Choke in a couple of my sideboards.
Yeah.
I don't typically bring it in against Delver. And this is exactly the reason why. First off, they work just fine off one land.
Yeah.
So like if you choke them and they play like another land, like their death rights will get them back. Right? I mean, there's going to be moments where Choke gets them. But
if
I don't
you can
think
choke on like an empty board, it's fine. But when
they have dazes too,
when they've got a threat in play, like
now all of a sudden their dazes become like much better.
Yeah.
Like if they don't counter your spell, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
I get my land back.
Got a mana back.
Yeah. And I found that 3 mana spells are just awkward to cast against Delver in general.
Yep. So we do see a Stoneforge Mystic in hand.
Stoneforge, Thalia, and I see a Zealous Persecution.
So Jeff's got some decent cards to work with for the matchup. Stoneforge in particular could be pretty good here.
He doesn't have a lot of time.
The one thing that Choke is good at doing is it makes Steven prioritize his mana in a very different way. So you see him fetch up this tropical island here, and that's probably not the land that Steven really wants to get, but it's one that he doesn't mind being tapped.
Yeah. He wants to fetch up other colors later in the
right. Game. So Jeff down to 10. Steven thinking about what he wants to play. Thinking about playing down that Underground Sea again. But looks like he also has a polluted Delta. Opts for the Delta.
Yeah, this shows Jeff that there are. Whoa!
It's a Badlands. Whoa.
What the?
That's unusual.
I don't
like
think...
4-color Delver.
I don't think I've ever seen a Badlands run in a Delver deck.
All right, Gurmag coming down.
Good enough to play a 5/5.
Yeah. I mean, pretty good against choke too, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good. You saw it here, people. Run a bad
Steven with the tech.
Run a Badlands in your Delver deck. I mean, I hear that card's bad, but it looks pretty good here. May need to rename it.
It's in the name. Bad land.
Yeah, he's holding it up like yes. The time the Badlands comes through. Yeah, there is a wasteland. This probably take care of the Badlands, honestly.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I don't want you having lands that work well.
I think you're pretty obligated to. The other thing you could do is run out just a couple 2-drops here. Run out a Thalia, run out a Stoneforge.
He may have to.
Although you can do that and Wasteland. You've got birds.
Yeah.
It's probably the play.
Although he'd probably want to chump with birds this turn. He'd rather not chump with Thalia or Stoneforge. The other option is to tap birds
That's
and
true.
chump with Dryad Arbor.
Yeah, I
That'd be
think you'd
fine.
rather
That'd be fine.
keep Dryad Arbor for that. Could definitely see just playing Stoneforge and then chump with birds.
I think you need to play Stoneforge this turn.
Yeah,
You have to put something powerful on this board. Batterskull
for sure.
Batterskull is completely necessary right now.
Batterskull, you could also try to go for Jite, but I don't think Jite is quick enough.
I don't think so either. I think you need to gain 4 life as soon as possible.
Yeah, and
it'll look really good on Thalia.
For sure. Plus, you can kind of threaten a double block on that Gurmag.
Yeah. Looks like he's come to the same conclusion. Like, he can't wait on this. If he plays it 1 turn later, he might be dead.
Yeah. Sword is not good enough.
It could get Batterskull. It could get Jite. I think either would be fine. Do not.
Looks like he's getting Sword.
I would not get Sword.
I strongly disagree with that.
Oh, you know what? Maverick doesn't usually play Batterskull.
Huh. You could try for Jite.
It's usually Sword Jite.
I could see Jite.
I think I like Jite better. No, maybe we're missing
interesting stuff.
Maybe we're missing something. I'm not sure.
Evening, Jorgensen.
What up? Welcome in.
How you doing on this fine summer day?
He lives in Phoenix. He knows all about the heat. All about the heat.
Utah has skipped spring and gone straight into summer.
Oh man,
I'm melting.
I went from one day like having to turn the heater on, and then the very next day I like got into my car and I was like, open the sunroof. Like I need to let the heat out of my car. I was like, what is this? All right, well let's see what's going on here. I think Steven's in a really good position.
Yep, definitely agree. So Jeff doing pretty much what we thought he'd do here, just blocking with the bird, taking 3, and now he's going to really have to make something happen on this next turn. Man, just all the feel bads. If he had, there's no black mana for that Zealous, so if he did have black mana, he would have been able to, or he might have been able to keep the birds around and block with the Dryad Arbor. Oh, and you could Zealous in response to the attack, block with Batterskull, kill the Gurmag, wipe that young Pyro off the board. Would be a lot better of a spot.
Now, Zealous Persecution is in Jeff's hand.
Yeah, it's about that temp here too, Jorgensen. It was about 90.
Well, earlier today, yeah.
Not that much earlier, to be honest. About 6:30.
So because of Zealous Persecution, it can save a couple damage. It's going to give -1/-1 to the Gurmak Angler, and he could double block it and keep your Thalia, or like keep one of your creatures. Yeah, yeah. Zealous Persecution would kill Young Pyro, all of its tokens.
Yeah.
You'd take 2 off of the Delver, and then you'd be able to double block out the Gurmak. That's kind of weird, but at the same time, I feel like this is probably your best line.
He doesn't have black mana.
He doesn't. Yeah, I was just seeing that as well.
So you could try to hit, like, I can't tell what that third card is in his hand. All right, we're going to find out real quick. So sword.
He's just playing the sword?
What? That doesn't make any sense. I'm very confused. I guess he thinks he needs the extra blocker.
He's just going to chump with Stoneforge this turn?
But you could have just chumped and activated. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. So Stoneforge chumps. Steven's got Jeff down to 4. Yeah. So active draws. Active draws are swords to plowshares.
Knight would be fine.
That's a black source for Zealous. So if you equip here...
Zealous lost pretty much all of its value. I think.
Okay, so you can equip here, attack in, kill the Delver, chump block with the Dryad Arbor.
You'd have to.
And then try to get back into this game with Zealous plus block on the equipped Thalia. And really hope that nothing goes wrong.
What does this draw? It's a multicolor card. I can't tell. Or did he draw the land? He drew the land.
Yeah, I think he drew a land. It's whatever that card he drew last turn was. Okay, so here comes the equip. The bonus is he does get an extra draw off of this as well, if this is the line that he goes for. He'd be dead to Wasteland. He'd be dead to Burn, but he's dead to Burn anyway.
Yeah, I think that would be the line that I would go for as well.
Yeah.
You just have to hope that you get another untap.
Yeah. Kind of in the hope and pray department. If he does find a swords, he could be good here.
He could wait. He has enough mana to wasteland the Badlands as well.
Sure.
And hope that Lightning Bolt doesn't come off the top in any way.
Yeah.
Like it'd have to be Lightning Bolt plus Red Source, and
Right.
and there's already a Volcanic being tapped down, so there's probably only about one more in the deck, unless Steven's playing that Badlands because he doesn't have one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I think this is definitely the best line. Okay.
All right. Float and response. And untaps.
Oh, and Lightning Bolt costs 2 anyway.
Lightning Bolt does cost 2.
Yeah, I think
But
this is a good line.
it shouldn't matter too much. So in, block, to be expected.
Yeah.
So Jeff either has 2 draws off an attack here, or Zealous lands.
Oh, Delver. Okay. No, this is fine.
Delver's fine. You can kill that with an attack.
Zealous Yeah,
and
yeah.
did have the red source.
But he still can't bolt.
Just not the bolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he still can't bolt.
Still can't bolt.
So I think it's another Thalia and I think it's Thalia Zealous Persecution. Ooh, wait.
Coming in.
Yeah. So Steven down to 7.
And that's a swords. That is a swords.
Swords to Plowshares?
That's
Was
a
his draw?
swords to plowshares.
So I think what his plan was
The enchantment is choke.
yeah, it chokes.
March.
It's kind of under his life total right now.
Yeah.
Wow,
and that's huge.
Yeah, I think his plan was to just play the other Thalia.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, this is much better. He might, yeah, I think he's gonna get this one.
Yeah, that's really big. That could be the game here.
So I don't usually put my hand on top of one land. That's weird. It just looks weird.
Morph check on Steven.
Morph check. Did you cast that? All right, here comes another hit for Thalia.
All right.
And yeah, Thalia's pretty much got this game locked. More cards coming off the top of Jeff's deck due to Sword of Fire and Ice. And look at this, a black source.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to fetch for it.
And I think the only thing that would be relevant as a draw would be another Gurmag. And
yeah.
Steven doesn't get there. Jeff takes that one. So Jeff with the match, 2-1. And some pretty good play to turn that around. Some weird choices.
There were some weird choices
to get into the situation to begin with, but
it wouldn't have been a ton different, right? So he tapped out to play the sword.
Yeah.
Where I think about the same thing would have happened if he had cheated into play.
Sure.
The 2 mana that he would have gotten to keep up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have mattered too much. So I still don't know why he did it that way. It's still weird to me.
Yeah, very, very weird. I think it kind of took some options off the table, but
I agree.
But yeah,
that was a fun game to watch, and we got to see Rihanna Depths or what do we even call this deck? I know that there's a name for it. I can't remember.
What do you guys call the amalgamation that is like Turbo Depths Reanimator? Turbo Rihanna Depths.
Turbo Rihanna Depths. They can win with tendrils, and I don't even know what to call it. It's like
should just be called Labman.
Labman. I mean, you won with Labman.
Yeah.
And the game didn't even break.
I love Labman. It's probably my favorite win con of all time.
You win with it differently, though.
Yeah.
You don't go off with Gristlebrand.
No, everybody wins with Labman the same way. They
You
draw
draw
cards
cards.
from an empty library.
Yeah, but what's strong you? The card. That's the question.
That's the difference. Brainstorm versus Gristlebrand. Gitaxian Probe, Gristlebrand. It's all the same, right?
Big ol' 7/7.
Little tiny 2/2.
Both of them you have to take damage to draw the card.
Yeah?
Yeah.
420.
Huh?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Nate, for pointing that out for everybody. All right, let's jump back here. Looks like it's already about time in the round, so we should have the next round coming up here soonish. We'll see. But in the meantime, I'm gonna have Matt tell his story because it's amazing.
The story of how I broke Moto.
Yes. I mean, everybody does. It's just how did you do it?
So since Moto went through the last update, things have been a little bit on the buggy side on a couple different things. And the other day I was playing in a 2-man, and I'm playing Doomsday. My opponent taps out, and I go for an easy kill with Laboratory Maniac, and I draw from an empty library using Brainstorm. And Moto absolutely freaks out. It goes crazy. Like
So you're down a game. This is game 2.
It's game 2. I'm down a game.
You're about to win.
About to win. And so I cast Brainstorm, and then Moto somehow like thinks that my library becomes like 57 cards large, and then starts popping up windows for like having me choose a card like Cabal Therapy, and like is trying to rebuild the game and gets stuck in that and trying to do all this stuff. So eventually I just close out the program, right?
Obviously.
After laughing at it for a couple minutes. And I go and I log back in. And what it says is, you win the match. Not the game, the match. So I'm not really sure what happened there.
They probably did just get fed up and conceded, which is weird.
No, like, so one of two things either happened. Either my opponent got the same stuff popping up on his side and decided that he just had enough and wanted to not deal with that anymore. Or somehow Labman got me two game wins off of drawing 2 cards off of Brainstorm. Either way, pretty crazy stuff.
All right, so pairings are already up. We're gonna watch Brian play some Magic.
Hey.
So we're gonna watch Jeff play Brian. So we just saw Maverick. He's gonna be on camera again, and that's gonna be against Brian on Food Chain.
Let's chain together some food.
And then I haven't been updated anything, so I assume the round has started. So let's go.
Just add an hour. Or 50.
Yeah, just add an hour. That's fine.
Sweet.
Like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, let's jump over. I'm sure they're gonna shuffle a little bit, but we'll get to it.
Best shuffle cams on all of Twitch right here. Paragon City Games.
All right, and our backup match is going to be Paul on lands, more than likely, versus I don't know who's sitting in their seat. I don't have the information.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
I think this is Ryan. I can't tell. Who knows?
We'll at least get a deck real quick.
Yeah, this is Ryan. And he said he's on a Grixis control tonight. All right, but first.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We have to use the $ like Kesha. Because Paul just gets money with that deck. Man, he wins a lot, I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm.
He wins a lot with it. Alright, some mulliganing going on, and we'll get started whenever they're ready. In the meantime, I need quite a few.
Oh, yeah. So, Food Chain versus Maverick. I'd have to say Food Chain's probably favored.
Yeah, Thalia doesn't stop. Thalia doesn't get in the way of the combo, which is huge.
Neither does Swords. Swords
Neither
does
does
not
Swords.
do much of anything
No.
to stop this from going on.
That's
Even
really
a
weird.
well-timed one.
Death and Taxes is usually really, really good at like taxing the mana, but Brian's deck, I don't think is going to care too much.
Yeah. Thalia, medium, like, it can be annoying, but whatever. You see Brian fetching out basic Forest here, and that's going to play well around Wasteland. It's also, I mean, with Death Rights, there's plenty of food.
Do you actually think that Maverick has a fast enough clock with neither Reliquary and Okay, this is that's good for Jeff.
Yep.
Okay, Swords to Plowshares going to take out Deathrite Shaman,
That'll slow him a
slow
little
Brian
bit.
down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's really going to come down to if Brian can get his combo going before Giant Knights start beating him down. Here's his Sylvan Library.
Ooh, okay, yeah, this is easily one of the best cards that Jeff can have in this matchup.
We'll definitely keep the cards flowing.
Mhm. But I don't think Brian has a black source. I see Basic Island in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if he has another land. So no Baleful Strix. This is going to be a Manipulate Fate. It's pretty powerful. So
Exile 3, draw a card.
yeah, so this is going to be, he gets exile 3 cards from his library. So this is going to be Eternal Scourge. And he's got a million altars in his deck. So this is the Eternal Scourge that he's pulled out. And then he'll have 2 Miss Hollow Griffins that he pulls out as well.
Shout out to Bryce with the altars.
Yeah. Bryce Felt Altars, everyone. Or Felt Altars. I think it's Facebook.
Yeah.
/ Felt Altars.
He always does some amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm. He's been figuring out how to alter foils, and they look great.
Oh yeah,
They look really good.
I was really impressed with those masterpieces too. Like they look awesome.
Yeah, they're really good. Manipulate Fate is really tough for Maverick to beat. Yeah, I agree. Manipulate Fate in Food Chain is like the card to counter.
Yeah.
It basically says pay 2, draw 4.
Yep.
And it pitches to 4s.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Pretty good.
So the 3 cards that have been exiled by it all can be cast from exile. Not only that, but they're a combo piece.
We saw Wasteland as the draw for Jeff there. I don't think. Did we see him activate that library? Didn't look like he did.
Did he just miss it? I don't think that's a good thing to miss. And he drew a land?
Yep.
Yeah, that's bad. Two mana, and here's a Stoneforge. Captain QC!
Evening, Captain.
You're here early. Welcome.
So Stoneforge is going to get
Forced.
Yep,
Baleful Strix is the card that's getting exiled. He'll lose a life for that.
That's going to be pretty rough on Jeff there. Does have library to start fueling him back up, but he's got to remember those triggers.
Gotta remember. I just can't. I can't think of a world where I cast Sylvan Library and forget to draw 3. That's just something on my mind. Like, of course I'm going to draw 3. And honestly, Jeff's life total is not going to matter too much in this. Yeah, he missed it.
Rough.
Ouch. Your vacation ends this week, huh? 3 weeks spent at home gaming. Isn't that life? Yeah, that is life.
Life's hard, Captain. Life is hard.
Jealous.
Life's
Yeah,
hard.
what's it like coming into work and just playing games? Oh no, that's your vacation. Sorry. I don't know what I would do for my vacation. I feel like my job is. I think my vacation's when I go to a GP.
Life's hard. Gotta go skiing.
Yeah. Matt makes his money by skiing.
Mm-hmm.
I work at a magic store. Or a game store, I should say.
What's the saying? If you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
I worked a couple days, but I'm done with that.
Scrib Ranger coming down.
I don't think I've ever played that one, Captain. Yeah, Scrib Ranger is going to do a couple things this game, but
so yeah, it's surprisingly good at blocking Mist Hollow Griffins and Baleful Strixes and the like. So Brian's going to have to really rely a lot more on that combo as opposed to chip damage here and there. Down comes Scavenging Ooze as well. So now he's starting to get a little bit of a presence. Yeah, Scrib Ranger is a sweet magic card.
Right? Isn't it like everybody's favorite card? Like, just nobody actually says it until they see one. They're like, oh yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember that Scrib Force deck from Standard a long time ago, but it was pretty sweet.
I did not get to play that Standard.
Spectral Force plus Scrib Ranger to untap it.
Beautiful. All right, Food Chain hits the board.
All
Jeff's
right.
not playing blue, so that's just gonna,
Well,
resolve.
We'll just put all these things into play.
Yep. And now Food Chain does this weird thing where like you try to kill Miss Hollow Griffin, he just sacks it.
Yep.
He'll get it back next turn. Or this next turn he'll attack with all three of them.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then once the attack goes through, he'll just exile them all, play them all again. It's like pseudo vigilance.
Yep.
And so he doesn't even need Walking Ballista to use this infinite mana. He can probably just win with the creatures that are on the board.
Yep. Not to mention that Ooze is a lot worse when you have to rely on creatures only from your own graveyard. Scrib Ranger also only able to block one creature is kind of relevant.
Maybe Jeff finds QPM.
QPM.
Solid Pride Mage? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to think. I was like, what is that for?
QPM could be something.
Killing Food Chain right now would do it.
Yeah.
He's got a Scrib Ranger to block for a little bit. His Ooze is about to be bigger than the Scourge.
Mm-hmm.
So he'd only be taking like that would actually be pretty good.
Have to find it real soon though.
Mm-hmm. And he'd also need Brian not to have a second Food Chain.
We're also to that point where we're starting to play the game of if I ever draw into a Walking Ballista, you're just dead.
Yes. Even Walking Ballista just being cast right now for 4 mana would kill Scrib Ranger and kind of set Brian up for a win, just through combat.
All right, Brian untaps. Biggest out, Brian punting himself to death.
It could happen.
Never say never.
If you said that while Brian was in the room, he'd probably have a laughing fit and end up like on the ground, like rolling around laughing.
In for 9. Yeah, Abrupt Decay is another answer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ranger jumping in front.
Oh, so there isn't another creature for Ooze to get. So he's not willing to trade with the Eternal Scourge because Deathrite would be able to exile it.
Yep.
And he'd just be able to cast it again. All right, 6 damage coming through. That'll put Jeff to 11.
And Deathrite activating is going to make that a pretty quick clock. I think next turn.
Yep. So we're gonna activate some Food Chain.
Looks like Brian didn't activate. Oh, he just he's waiting on the activation. He just did the exile and put all his creatures back in.
Mm-hmm.
Pseudo vigilance is wonderful.
Yes. Like blanks removal. It's like really, really good. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see a combo like this where like only when you have like part of the combo,
right?
The deck, like the part of the combo still does something,
right? I
don't think most combos are that way.
Yeah, a lot of combos it's either all or nothing. This combo kind of comes in stages, right?
Yeah.
So this is kind of the fair side of the combo, if there is such a thing. You know, fair meaning I get 3 vigilant 3/3s and can make a ton of mana. And I'm immune to removal, except for Abrupt Decay on my Food Chain.
I've actually lost to Brian playing this deck like the fair way, where he manipulate fates, never plays a Food Chain, never a Ballista, Just on turn 4, cast Miss Hollow Griffin.
Yeah.
Next turn, cast another Miss Hollow Griffin. And here's my deck. Like I can't beat your 3/3s.
Some decks, that's an absolute nightmare. If you look at like miracles and stuff like that, just creature after creature after creature, that's a nightmare and a half.
It is. All right, looks like Ooze is going to trade with Eternal Scourge. So I would definitely think that Brian's going to make sure that Eternal Scourge comes back this turn. If he activates Deathrite right now, he'll be able to do that. Or at least
It might not matter.
It might not.
Might just want to activate Deathrite for black.
Okay.
Put them to 4 and then have lethal next turn. And you can keep that Deathrite active if Jeff goes to use it. Hard to say.
Hey, look, a Ballista.
And that'll do.
you see Brian.
Pew, pew, pew.
All right, Brian gets game 1. We will check up on what's going on with this Grixis control deck, and lands on. Oh, look, they're also shuffling.
Yes, Captain. Yawgmoths on turn 1 is very fair because you have to lose life for it. Yep, very fair.
That's our running list. You're right. All right, so this is our other match. Looks like they're just shuffling up. So, guess we'll.
You're right.
Guess we'll jump back over. Just stay.
More shuffle cams.
Stay with these interesting decks. So Tuesday we had like 4 Miracles players in the room, and like all of them were winning. So they were just on the feature match area the entire time. It's like miracles.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a nightmare. And people were still watching for some odd reason. I don't really get it. It's probably because Bryce and I were just like
doing your thing.
I don't even think we were focused. We were just talking about random crap, and he kept trying to tell people jokes. I hate it when he does that. Some people think they're funny, chat, and you know what? They're not. They're just not funny. That Bryce guy that you guys tune in to watch on Tuesday, you guys need to see him in a new light. He's not even funny. See? Told you. Oh, the bit war was hilarious. That was really good. Yeah, we had somebody who wasn't in. He's a real dad. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like the real thing.
They were really, really bad. And I even told him not to tell, and then he just goes on. Like, he had no respect.
Of course. No respect. No respect.
No respect at all. So, something coming up. Tomorrow we're having our team constructed event.
Yeah. I think super excited.
Excited. So Brian just had us set it up. So we actually are going to try to get a third camera.
Yeah.
Set up because we already have the camera. We're just going to try it. We're going to get a third camera set up, and we are going to try to stream a team event tomorrow.
Yeah. Minimum 1K, right?
Yeah, minimum 1K.
Minimum
so
1K.
It's pretty large.
It scales pretty quickly too.
It does. So that'll be standard, modern, and legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I can say that we will focus mostly on the legacy and modern portions.
Definitely.
Obviously, since we support legacy here on the stream.
Oh yeah.
We're probably going to be looking at legacy mostly, but we'll definitely keep
mix up a little bit.
We will. We will.
Too.
And so Brian has asked me to do it, and then Matt got asked as well today. So you'll have Matt and myself back tomorrow
back for a lot more
magic.
A lot more magic.
Yeah, we're talking. So I think it's 5 or 6 rounds that I cut to top 4.
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
So we're talking like 7 to 8 rounds of Magic tomorrow.
For sure.
You can also cancel the standard portion. We wouldn't mind.
Captain, I wouldn't mind either, but
This
that's
is
not
gonna,
the way the team.
This is going to
work.
be like opposite of what Star City does.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, because like Star City, I feel like every time they're like, here's a team event, I'm like, sweet, let's watch some Legacy.
Yeah.
And you get to see like two Legacy matches like the whole day. It's not going to be like that. It's actually going to be flipped. It's going to be like primarily Legacy, a little bit of Modern, and then like if Standard's like the last going, then we'll jump over and watch some Standard.
For sure.
I do know enough about Standard to commentate on it. I do. I do know.
You're better than me.
Yeah.
You're better than me.
So we'll see. We'll see. And Standard just got Dominaria. It's legal.
Yeah.
There might be some new interesting things going on. Maybe there
will
won't.
Be some fun ones.
But
we'll see. If someone's doing something crazy, we might switch over.
Yeah, it drives me absolutely up the wall, Captain QC, the way they do that.
Yeah.
Like, cause seriously, like they used to support Legacy like crazy, and honestly, I loved their Legacy content. And now that they're not doing it anymore, I just do not understand. It is by far the most interesting format, and here they are, just standard after standard after standard. I do not know how people watch Standard streams all the time. They're so repetitive.
Just give the people what they want, but
why? Why would you want that?
I don't understand why people want that.
I don't understand either. It hurts. It hurts me.
But we can do something about it, and we're gonna.
They're starting to do to Modern what they did to Legacy 2. You mean like they're kind of like weeding it out? Standard's about the people, not the gameplay. Okay, that's a good point. That is a really good point. All right, turn 1. Jeff's got
Luck, Skill, Death Rate.
Luck, Skill, Death Rate. Oh man, I should have worn my shirt today.
I
should have worn my shirt today.
I thought about it, but I'm saving it for tomorrow.
I need to do laundry.
Saving it for tomorrow.
That's what I'll do. I'll do some laundry, and I'll wear it tomorrow. Yeah, people watch to see their favorite players play. Sure. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll watch Standard if Brad Nelson's playing.
But here's the thing: like people would also watch their favorite players play Legacy, and they would also like, how did your favorite player become your favorite player?
Mm-hmm.
You watch them play on camera, right?
Yeah.
So if you're,
I'd rather watch 2 nobodies play a perfect game of Legacy.
Yeah,
I 100%.
That'd be pretty awesome. Go to a ton of events to grind.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's just their life.
Yeah,
it seems pretty chill. I mean,
yeah,
it's a cool community around it. All right, death rights for everybody. Just gonna add mana here, and you think we're gonna see another reliquary? Oh, Thoughtseize. Okay.
Thoughtseize.
Oh, yeah. I think Thoughtseize is gonna look really good. All right, so we see a hand. Sorry about all the altars.
Food Chain, Strix, Manipulate Fate, Mist Hollow Griffin, Land, and another Baleful Strix. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Awesome.
The Verdant Catacombs is the land.
Extended Border Altar, yep.
Yeah, Scary Rar. In fact, if you like the altars, here, let me throw you a link real quick.
Yeah, if you like these altars, here's where you need to check out.
Our caster that does the Tuesday night Legacy with us, he does regular altars. Oh, you know what? That's probably not going to go in. Let me know if that link works. I think it will. Yeah, it went in. Yeah, check out that link. It's just a Facebook page. His name is Bryce Felt. He does all of his own altars, and he commentates for us on Tuesday. He kills it.
Mm-hmm.
The altars that he does are phenomenal.
Oh, yeah. They look so good. Take Manipulate, Slam Chain, hope to keep off FC mana. Yeah. Slam Thalia.
Or Slam. Yeah, that's fine.
So. Yeah, it could come with a dad joke. Be warned.
Be warned. Be warned. Foil altars, yeah. I actually own a couple of his altars, and can I just say, like, they're really clean.
They're
Like,
gorgeous.
like really, really clean looking.
Mhm.
I fear, or like a lot of the altars I get are quite sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean, or a lot of altars I've seen. Bryce does it at a professional level, and he's getting better.
Well thought out too.
He hasn't been doing it for over a year yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scary Rar, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So Belfast the play. Now, Brian's probably of the mindset we don't want lands to be, or really like anything to be in Jeff's graveyard. Like, Knight of the Reliquary is something to think about, and I think he knows that using Deathrite Shaman to take out lands is going to be important. Jitte.
That's going to get forced.
Okay. So what this Force of Will kind of tells me is either he's been waiting for something just to force, right? He needs that Miss Hologriffin to be in exile.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quality Force of Will right here. When you're able to exile a card that you can cast from exile.
Feels great.
It's insane. It's insane. But it kind of makes me think that Brian can't beat Jitte, which actually tells a lot about where he is in this game at the moment. He has another Baleful Strix. He's got to Manipulate Fate. And honestly, Manipulate Fate's going to look pretty good here.
To be fair, though, he's also just one land away from casting that Mist Hollow. And that's pretty big on this board. 3/3 flyer. Kind of hard to deal with.
He's competing with Jeff's Deathrite, and he did just activate the Deathrite, and Jeff did activate Response, targeting the same land.
Yeah, here comes that Manipulate Fate.
Yeah, so this is going to get the other two Mist Hologriffins plus the Eternal Scourge. So now all 4 of the cards that he can cast from exile are all in exile. He's just waiting on either another blue source, or an opportunity to activate this Deathrite Shaman.
Sure.
And speaking of this Deathrite Shaman, and while we're on the altars thing, it does look really, really dark on camera, but in person, it is so much more gorgeous than a normal Deathrite Shaman, just saying. And all it's really done is spray brushed.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's really, really amazing. I think Bryce actually has a video of like kind of how the foil works on the card on his.
Yeah, if you look at that Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. You know, so draw a card off that Manipulate Fate, and here we go.
Kind of surprised not to see an attack there by the Strix. Can't imagine that's jumping in front. I also don't see that Deathrite getting in the action anytime soon.
I agree with you. Nate. Manipulate Fate is almost always the card you take in this matchup. Almost always. Yeah. There's just not a card that you really want a whole lot more. So this is probably going to be a basic island here.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the right call, but it's not the easy call to make. Like, it's not the most straightforward line. You think food chain, I need to take the combo piece that does the actual combo as opposed to what sets it up. But now that Brian's up to 4 mana, he's got a lot of stuff to get going.
Yeah,
lots of food.
Yeah, this is, and I think I mentioned something about this earlier, where a lot of times you're just going to cast Manipulate Fate and just start casting creatures.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't actually need a whole lot more than that. I think so. Brian does go for the Baleful Strix, though.
A little surprised.
I'm definitely surprised.
A little surprised. And still not going on the offense there with those Strix.
Normally, I'd say, okay, do this if you have something like an Abrupt Decay, but Thalia's on the board. So maybe he just wants to brainstorm?
Maybe.
Because I feel like you play Griffin unless you have something else to cast. But I don't know. Maybe he just wants to play maybe he just wants to draw a card, right?
Could be.
I'd even argue that, Nate. I think Manipulate Fate in general is just insane. I guess it is kind of slow against like a fast combo deck. Yeah, it probably is a little too slow. But even then,
All right. So there's a stage on Jeff's side, and a little innocuous at the moment, but it does kind of open the door for some shenanigans.
I don't think Brian's too worried about a Dark Depths here. He's got 2 Belful Strix, and he has reoccurring 3 mana flyers.
They're not recurring yet, are they?
Well, he can exile them with Deathrite, so yeah.
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 Okay.
So this is Tombstalker. He's gonna exile the rest of his graveyard. Yet another gorgeous foil altar.
Now he's getting in. Now he feels safe enough to get in there for 2.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Nate.
Card advantage at its purest form. Yeah. Not to mention, Manipulate Fate takes all those cards out of your deck, so you're not drawing those cards as well. Yeah, you could board out some number of food chains in this matchup and probably be fine.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna combo, you're gonna combo the turn you play a food chain in this matchup for sure.
Or you just do kind of like what Brian did in game 1, and just use it as a value engine. Here comes a Griffin. And we're just on the flyer beatdown plan, I think.
He's reconsidering. I think he's gonna play the Eternal Scourge.
Scourge, keep open Deathrite. That's fine.
I don't think either play particularly matters.
It's a little bit surprised to see that with Wasteland in play. So here comes Mother Runes.
I'm not sure what Jeff could even have to win this game. Brian would have to get pretty careless, and he'd have to win with like a 20-20. And I think that the second something like a Night of the Reliquary would be in play, Brian would be shields up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. Can Jeff Green Sun into anything relevant? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Me neither. And you can even cast Miss Hollow Griffin through Gaddock Teague.
Yeah.
What a man I hate. This is just such an interesting combo.
All right, more Strix coming down. And Jeff at a very low life total.
I think this should do it. And I don't think there's a crop rotation in his deck.
All right, so stage target Wasteland.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna Wasteland this Underground. No, because he didn't have to do it now.
No, don't need to do it right away. He can't eat with Deathrite. If he does that, Brian activates his own Deathrite and wins the game on the spot.
Yeah. Perks of having your opponent hit 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, attack with everything, and that'll do it.
Yep, that's the game. So, Brian wins 2-0 with a pretty strong performance from Food Chain.
I think his deck did everything he wanted to. You know, like there might have been like one turn where he missed a land drop, but he was never under any pressure.
You have to say that's probably a hard matchup for Maverick. Like, unless you have a very fast start, I think that you're falling behind very quickly. He would need to either get underneath what Brian's doing or find a way to fight through. And I think the Thoughtseize was a great thing to sideboard in, but I agree with Chad in that he probably should have taken the Manipulate Fate.
I don't think it ended up mattering a ton in this particular game, but man, Manipulate Fate just looks so good. Every time I look at it, I'm like, man, it says draw a card on it. Like, it can't just like exile the cards.
Yeah.
No, you get to draw.
QC makes a good point. Didn't really see many abrupt decays on Jeff's side of the board. They were not forthcoming.
I mean, how many decays is the deck usually running though? So let's say it typically runs 2 decay, which is probably pretty realistic. He doesn't have draw manipulation. He can't dig through his deck for a decay.
Library, but he's gotta use library.
You gotta use library. I don't know if I've ever missed a library activation besides on purpose. Right?
Yeah,
because you don't want to activate library when a Leovold's in play.
Right.
But
there's lots of things you don't want to do when Leovold's in play.
There's a lot of things. Activate Jitte. Activate Jitte again. You can draw 3 cards and I'll kill your Leovold.
Like Carpet of Flowers.
Yeah, we never saw that backfire, did we?
No.
I
was hoping. I really was. 2 Pride Mages, 4 Green Sun.
2 Pride Mages, Captain QC?
That's a lot of Pride Mages.
That is a lot.
2 sack effects, Blessed Alliance. Okay. Blessed Alliance I don't think would have done much.
Not a ton. It would have been okay. Wow, 2 Pride Mages. Usually, most Maverick decks that I've seen... No, I'm not saying it's a bad card. I'm not saying it's a bad card at all. I just feel like most lists I see play 1 or between 0 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a little crazy to me. But no, it's a great card. Especially with like Miracles decks playing stuff like Search for Azcanta and like Counterbalance, and you just don't want that stuff on the board.
Definitely. Back to basics even, or Blood Moons running around and stuff like that.
You can't kill my overwhelming splendor. You can't kill my overwhelming splendor, alright? Cassali Pride Mage just can't do it.
It's true.
Cassali Pride Mage just doesn't feel himself.
Yeah.
Under the splendor. Oh yeah. That's a good point. Blue white energy field or whatever.
That'll do it.
Hey Brian.
Hi.
Come and hang out for a minute.
I mean, I can because you have like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we do. Way to waste down on Maverick. Jeez.
He had a rough draw, and I just had everything.
You did have everything.
You did.
That Thoughtseize just didn't turn out the way he wanted, right?
He hit Food Chain, yeah.
Yeah, he got Food Chain, which I think was correct.
We were thinking that he should have hit Manipulate Fate.
See, he thought that too, but the thing is I only ended up casting 1 card off the Manipulate Fate, right?
And that's what I said, is like that game probably would have been the same no matter what he thought seized.
Yeah. Like, there was so much redundancy in the rest of the hand that I think still taking this Food Chain is right. Because if he leaves Food Chain, and I just go like Baleful Strix, Food Chain, Mist Hollow Griffin, and then just like value him out that way, that's just terrible. And me drawing 4 cards, like creatures, yeah, it does.
I remember like the first time I cast Splendor. You remember the 5-0 cast? Like, no.
This is fine.
Everything is fine.
With that deck though, like my favorite thing will always be the Wasteland effect of like put Splendor on you, and then they're like, okay, untap, like play Wasteland, try to waste your land out, and it just taps for mana.
Yeah.
And then they do it like 2 or 3 times.
And then they're like, "Whoa, that was weird. I need to target their thing, not add mana." So they go undo,
do it again.
It untaps, and they're like, "All right, tap it again."
Mm-hmm. I mean, you see it like 3 times, and you're like, "Okay." Like,
and then the pause for
they always pause because they read and then they concede. It's great. Oh, it was so great.
It was like the fetch line one, right? There was a guy that like literally had an out if he would have fetched before your Splendor, but he's like, "Oh, this is fine." And then he like brainstorms and like goes to fetch, and you're just like.
It's once
file for comp card doesn't work.
It's once people actually like got a good feel for what Nick's Fit was, and like Goldfish put it
Damping Sphere is
up,
bugged right now.
and like blah 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 blah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and next thing you know, people actually know how to like do things when it comes to overwhelming splendor. That was the worst, because then people are fetching and people are doing everything in response to the Academy trigger, and poor Nick's Fit can't do anything anymore. It'll always be one of my favorite decks, but
So-
man,
Damping Sphere is bugged on MTGO.
How?
It was shown on BSL. So they tap Workshop, and it showed up. So it's supposed to replace that can be only used to cast artifact spells and make it just one colorless mana. Right?
Yeah.
Because Damping Sphere is what
Yeah.
ends up adding the mana.
yes,
It
Right.
replaces the other one.
Yeah.
But it still said artifact only, so it kind of messed with Rachel Agnes yesterday on the BSL.
interesting.
It was pretty interesting to see.
See, there's all sorts of bugs on Moto right now.
There's so many right now. It's ridiculous.
We were talking about how earlier I had a lab man in play,
Mhm.
and I drew with Brainstorm into an empty library, and it freaked out and started like trying to rebuild the game over and over again.
You're like,
It tried-
no, I win.
It brought up Cabal
It
Therapy's
brought up
window.
like Cabal Therapies, like choose a card window. So like I'm like clicking on that, saying like abandon hope.
My goodness. Reminds me of all the misdirection ones. I'm so glad. I mean, I love the card misdirection, but I'm glad I went away from it,
Mhm.
because it was just taking up a spot in my deck that I didn't need to.
Yeah. It was funny though. It was really funny because you'd cast misdirection, and sometimes it would work,
Yeah.
and it'd work, and then you'd like pass the turn, and then they like pass the turn to you. You draw, and the whole thing just like wrecks. You're like, I thought we got past this. I thought we were good.
I mean, it only happened like, what, 4 leagues?
Which is funny because I remember the first time you told me it was bugged, I was like, okay, well, if it's bugged, then why are you playing it? And you're like, well, it only happens like 15, 20% of the time.
And then it like happened 3
And,
times in
and,
a row.
and you're
It's
like, and it needs to be in this deck, it's true. Like, misdirection is really good with Missile Griffin, you know?
well,
it has the
especially
force of will
especially when
back.
Abrupt Decay is heavy in the metagame.
Yes.
And that's when it was.
Right.
And now the metagame's moved away from
Yeah, it shifted a little bit. But I just had to laugh every time it happened because, like, I think my favorite one, though, and I want to say we have, like, a clip of it on here.
Was
It's-
the 1K one?
Wait, was it the one?
Where I misdirected the lightning bolt into the True Name Nemesis and we got a game 4.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful because you can actually lightning bolt their True Name Nemesis with misdirection. Oh, so hot. No, I'm talking about the one where we did where they cast Reanimate, and you misdirectioned. Oh, what? No, what was it? Yeah, you misdirectioned it to like something awful.
Walking
Like-
Ballista or something.
Yeah, like I think it was a Walking Ballista.
So
You were like,
should
here, have my
zero.
0/0. Or maybe
I can't remember what it was.
No, I think it's Trinket Mage. I think it was Trinket Mage because all I remember is they actually lost life, but they didn't get anything, and it freaked out. And
Nice.
it was beautiful. I know I had never.
that was
thought to
probably
misdirect it.
versus EW Landon.
Probably.
We may have that.
One of my
can't
favorite magic bugs from a while back, and it was bugged for a long time, was Plunge into Darkness. And Plunge into Darkness, if you don't know, is a card that costs 1 color and a black. You can pay
Cards here.
X life to look at the top X cards,
Uh-huh.
and you pick one, put that into your hand, and you exile the rest. On Moto, there was no option to stop this process. So you would pay life, and then be like, okay, I want to stop. And there's no option to stop.
Would you like to pay more life? Or do you just lose the game by casting this card?
Yeah, you just
See,
could not continue
Plunge
the
into
game.
Darkness,
Weird.
Lindell's Vault, spoils all C play and some like sideboard, some sideboards and main decks of Food Chain. It's really funny
Mhm,
because like the exiling stuff doesn't really matter because you
Yeah.
got Griffins in one.
for sure, yeah.
But
Yeah, it's kind of like a controlled spoils where you can choose how much life you pay, but it does cost 1 more.
There we go.
It is an instant, though, which is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that we can show cards when we're on this screen. I forgot we had it set up that way. I was like, well, hey, look, a card. We don't need to know when the round ends.
It's already over.
I mean, as far as
6 more
feature
minutes.
matches,
Yeah. We got a couple more rounds.
Oh,
We
yeah.
got to watch Brian wreck face with Food Chain.
Yeah.
Do you know if Drew won his second round? We want to see the.
We want to see more of that.
Reanimator.
Turbo
depths.
Rihanna depths.
He was on camera round, right?
Yeah.
He won. He beat Calvin.
I don't know if he did. Hey, baby.
How's it going?
It was fun to watch. It was fun to watch.
The deck's sweet. I mean, it loses to a lot of stuff. But
Oh, it loses
the deck's
to, like,
sweet.
loses to everything. Like I want to say, I think he won 2-0 though. Did it? Wait a
2-0
minute.
or 2-1?
Turbo Rihanna.
Maybe it was 2-1
I think it
because
was 2-1.
it had to
Drafting
have been.
Dominaria on MTG.
She got surgical and
Someone beat
whatever.
Calvin. That's right.
Yep.
And in fact,
Terry
Calvin.
left early today too. Yeah, terrible Terry.
What?
I mean, what's scary Terry?
As it turns out, surgical and in response, shallow grave number 2 kind of gets there.
That's what happened. Yep. It was so good looking because the first game that we watched, like he goes like, "All right, shallow grave," and Calvin's like, "Yeah, surgical," and the game just ended.
Yeah.
Like it was over.
He like drew a couple more cards, found a silent
Gravestone. We had to laugh.
Yeah.
Game 2, it's like double shallow grave. Man, it is really fun to see the whole like cast exhume, crack my LEDs. Like I love it. It's cool to watch.
That is a sweet little interaction right there.
Oh yeah.
And shallow grave works the same way because it's not targeting.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's
just
so-
whatever the top one is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you discard your hand, you choose the order that it goes into your discard pile. You're like, oh, I want this one on top.
Yeah, it's fun.
I wonder how that works
lot of
on
fun.
Moto.
You choose it, pops up a window.
Yeah, it pops up a window.
It's like when you put stuff back into your deck. It's the same
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Mhm.
I played against some nether spirits or whatever in Dredge.
Yeah.
And they did an LED crack thing with it.
Nice.
Huh.
I would not put that past them to not work.
I've seen weirder things.
It doesn't on Moto.
No, it does. It does on Moto.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Doesn't let you pick LED. Yeah.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. LED usually
it's a
when I
mana
crack
ability.
it just kind of yeah.
The mana
I guess-
ability
I guess,
probably messes with it.
It's
Yeah.
potentially random.
Oh, that's so bad.
That's so brutal.
Can you imagine how bad that could hurt? I mean, maybe in
Well,
his
that's why
deck
you
it
don't
doesn't-
see some of the weird degenerate decks get. Might be Legacy. Check the chat sheet. The degeneracy that we don't get to see because of that.
Mhm.
So, maybe it's draft.
He
I
gave
heard
he
something
gave
about
us the
pairing.
update like way late. Why
I'll go-
can't why
I'll go
can't
check.
why can't we have Austin or
Because Austin's taking
Yeah.
Friday off.
Patrick freaking kills it on our chat sheet.
Patrick has to go to Idaho at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Tim's here, but he's doing
Tim's
other
good at
things. Tim's really good. Patrick's very good. Austin is excellent.
They're all really good.
It's like we have good employees at the store.
It's almost like we have good
It's
employees.
almost like that.
Just there's one person that I need to remind.
No, it's tired.
Yeah.
I'll go see if those are up.
Okay. Awesome. Round timer, Brian.
Yes. Sorry, yes. I'm going to be on camera, so I need to remember.
Oh, okay. All right. So those who weren't here at like the very beginning of the tournament, it was fantastic. I approached Brian. I was like, "All right, we need to make sure we have everything set up. Can you keep the round timer in the feature match area up to date and ready to go for each round?" He goes, "Oh yeah." And like round 1 starts. One of our feature match tables didn't even go to the feature match area. And then the other complaint was that the round timer wasn't set up. And so I have to go out there, tell the people, hey, you guys know you're on the feature match? I'm like, why am I doing other people's job? and then I go up to Brian and I was like, hey, Brian, remember like 1 minute ago how you told me you'd do the round timer? And he goes, oh my God. walks over.
Mom.
Yeah. Like 1 minute later. Oh, geez, so great. J. Brian Anderson for you guys. All right, round number 3 is not up yet. We've got a couple more minutes left in the round, and I'm
Still
sure.
waiting. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be there soon enough. So, how did everybody's pre-release go this last weekend?
I had a blast. I thought it was great.
I loved my seal events.
Mhm.
I've been watching a little bit of it. I am not a person who is usually excited for limited formats.
Yeah.
Not usually. There's a couple that have got me in the last 10 years, but this one's got to be one of the most exciting. So I've been
It was
enjoying
nice to see kind of a slower format for the sealed. Like, it seemed like things were a lot more skewed towards the value side. Like, 4-0 in the morning event, awesome, very cool.
Yeah, you beat the living crap out of me in round 1. Vivi's a good Magic player. I don't have to play against good people. I 4-0'd my midnight one. But I went like 1-3 in that morning one, Vivi. It was so bad. I don't know what happened. I just fell apart. All right, like I'm gonna blame my lack of sleep and hope that that's actually the thing that happened.
I got the 3-1. I was going into my last round feeling okay. Like, hadn't dropped really a game yet.
Mhm.
My deck wasn't that powerful, and I finally ran into a deck that had just a lot more powerful things.
Yeah.
Like Karn plus rare equipment plus like really powerful sagas and the like. And I was like, okay, yeah.
It made me mad too because Matt and I have been playing Magic together for
Long time.
a long time, and there's my roommate Trace, who some of you may know. He's also been playing with us forever, and we used to have this like little store that we would play at, and we walk into that like midnight event, and we're the only 3 people from that original store that we like played a lot of Magic at,
Mhm.
and here we are all 3-0 walking into the last round,
And we somehow dodged
we
each other.
all dodge
Yeah.
each other,
Mhm.
all dodge each other, and I look at Trace and I look at Matt and I'm like, you guys know what's expected of you. Like you can't let me down here. And so I 4-0'd. Trace 4-0'd.
And I dropped the ball.
Can you believe this guy?
Yeah.
Unreal. But yeah, we've got some drafts going on in the house tonight. I think we fired multiple pods,
Oh yeah.
which is awesome. And then I know a lot of our legacy players are doing that.
The format in general seems really good.
Mm-hmm. It really does.
Pretty small tournament today. 11 players right now in legacy.
That's one of the smallest we've had in a long. I think he said 12, but we've had
11 or 12. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 people. That's really low for us.
Yeah.
Hey.
Draft seems sweet. I haven't had a chance to draft it yet, but
I drafted it last night at midnight, and I will say this: it is the worst draft I have ever drafted. I am not messing around. Like, so usually I'm really good at identifying where things are going and what's about to happen. And here I am looking through, and I swear I am the green black Sapperling deck. Like I am like so dead set on it, and I must be crazy. I must be crazy because like when I looked at my pool after the draft, guess how many black cards I had?
How many?
5. 5 black cards. And so I ended up in like this weird 3-color deck that was like ramp and like every kicker spell I could get my hands on. I mean, I 2-1'd, but like even in my last round, like somebody like practically gave me the round. I probably would have won too. It was bad. I was really upset with myself. So I need redemption. I need to draft more. I need to draft more.
Yeah.
Get a better handle on this format. All right, let's see what we've got here. We've got let's watch Drew and Paul. This seems interesting.
So lands versus Turbo
Rihanna
Depths.
We'll leave the turbo off of it. How about that? That way it's not too long.
Rihanna Depths.
Depths.
Can you guys think of a better name, or do you know what the actual name of this deck is? Because I don't.
I don't. All right, let's jump over there.
Wow, that sounds really good. Blue-black historic with 16 historic cards.
Oh, how?
17 Mishra's self-replicating.
Nuh-uh. 16 historic cards?
That's great.
Vivi, you were my idol. Just thought I'd let you know that. All right. Drew Rihanna Depths. Did I spell it right?
Yeah, now that we're mashing words together, I don't think it matters if you're spelling it right or not.
Leave me alone. All right, and Paul's on lands.
You spelled lands correctly. Unless you want the dollar sign.
I want the dollar sign. This is Paul we're talking about. Should we do Paul the Legend?
The legend.
Do you think this is what he wants his name and deck to look like?
Probably.
Yeah, it probably is. All right, this will work. This will work. Let's do this.
All right. So it looks like Drew's on them all.
I feel like this is the style of deck that's going to really kill it. Like, or sorry, that doesn't care about a mulligan.
Yeah, it can definitely have some powerful draws, even if it does mull a little bit.
It can function off of very few lands.
Yep.
Okay.
Scribe to the bottom. All right. Catacombs go.
Captain Casey, were you the one who named Paul the Legend? Is that? I don't remember who named him. So if it was you, props.
Exploration Wasteland. Maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't you then. Maybe I will never believe it's you if you say maybe.
Oh, shots fired, Jordan. Shots fired.
Wow.
Mod's getting into it.
I'm on Jorgensen's side here. That was beautiful. How much? I was about to plan on buying Mox Diamonds. Do not tell me that they went up. Oh, do not tell me that they went up. I was literally just about to buy Mox Diamonds. My tax return. It's in the mail. Okay. Nuh-uh. Oh, I am never getting Tezzeret ever in my life. That's just the way it is.
Wow.
Oh.
Oof.
Never mind. All right. I'm never
562.
I am never ever getting that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is
sickening.
I am absolutely distraught about this. I can't commentate on this match.
That is so sickening.
I'm too emotionally invested.
$500.
I was just about to buy them. You knew this. I was talking to you about it. Oh my goodness.
All right,
Jorgensen, sell your other 4 to me at a discount price.
So we're gonna Living Wish.
That seems like a good thing to do.
We've got a couple mana floating off of Dark Rit.
Yeah, Hackbert, good call. Really good call.
We're gonna crack LED in response, maybe.
Discount 20%. That is a really, really high discount. I'll consider it and get back to you, Jorgensen. I'll have to look at what that would cost me if I actually have the funds.
Get a Loyal Retainers, it looks like.
That's negative 20%. Ah, I'm glad you said that because I didn't catch it. So it cost me like what? Like I don't know, like 600 and like $650 per Mox Diamond. I think I'll look elsewhere.
It's a big deal.
Thanks, Hardjark.
Take it.
Thanks, Hardjark.
All right, so we're looking up the Oracle text on Loyal Retainers, I believe. Yeah.
P3K. Let's get this card up on the screen, shall we?
So, Oracle text is sacrifice Loyal Retainers, return target legendary creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your turn before attackers are declared.
I like the P3K wording way better than whatever you just said.
For sure.
on your turn, comma.
Before you attack.
Before you attack.
It's not a sacrifice. I just put it in my graveyard.
You just put it there.
Just put it.
It's there.
It's there. It's in the graveyard.
It's in the graveyard. Can't do anything about it.
All right, Gristlebrand coming into play. And Paul is ready to start paying some life for Drew here on the board. So we're going to see 14 cards drawn. That's what it looks like.
This is I don't know if Paul can really beat this kind of combo.
It's definitely difficult. If he had a crop rotation, he could try to
Bog?
do something. I don't know.
Once Gristlebrand's in play, this is as good as gone, right? Like I said, like it was the last time we played this where I said if like you just don't find a Living Wish for some reason, there's no way that would happen. All right, land number 3. There's an LED. Going down to 3.
Yeah, this is going to be hard for Paul to deal with. Now, if he does manage to go down a little bit further, maybe he can Punishing Fire him? I don't know. Ooh, he can Punishing Fire the Lab Man. That's something he could do. He could Punishing Fire a Lab Man if that's the kill.
He absolutely can do that.
So Drew would have to be smart enough to like unmask first, do something
he should
like
have
that.
plenty of cards to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if he's not really thinking about it, that is a way that Paul could win.
Yeah, it's a simple mistake, but it could absolutely sacrifice the children. Thanks, Hackbert. Appreciate that. All right.
A lot more LEDs, a lot more mana being put into play.
I mean, if you can go for the Tendrils kill here.
I'm not sure if this deck runs Tendrils or not.
It looks like it sure can.
It definitely could. Not sure that it does, though. I would definitely consider putting in a 1-up Miser. Just run all the combos.
You know that kind of reminds
Yeah.
me of.
We saw the Lab Man kill last game, last match.
Yeah, he was in round 1.
Yeah. We haven't seen Emmy.
It has Living Wish. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I could see an Emmy.
Discard 1 million cards. Add 1 million mana.
Let me see your graveyard. Oh, look, there's an Unburial Rites.
Hackbert, I literally started the Tin Fins Discord. I know stuff. I know things. I know things. It's almost like Hackbert is playing Magic or something.
No. Never.
I wouldn't know. I've never
No,
sat down and had
no,
drinks
no,
with him or anything.
No. Who would want to play silly things like this? So, Unburial for the children. That's going to gain a lot more life.
So, he's paid 4 times, right?
Yeah.
I love how he's laid this out. Thank you for not putting the dice on the chip.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, so 1 white, 2 black, and 2 green floating.
So we're going to see probably 3 activations. Looks like he's going to start with 2 activations, see what he gets.
Yeah, I don't think he has many more cards in his deck. I wouldn't be surprised if 1 more activation would kill him.
It looked like he had enough for 1 more, but we'll see. So, Petal Dark Writ, add some more manas. Living Wish, and that's going to do it for Paul. Drew's kind of going through his
So
His whole kit.
that was the Labman.
Yeah, Labman kill.
And
Paul unable to punish with the punishing fire. Now I think things get a lot harder for Drew on the game 2 on the draw. Paul gets to bring in cards like Chalice, which can really hurt the mana production of Drew.
we have not seen any Storm in their deck. We call it LED Depths Fin.
Yeah.
Is that what I need to change it to?
LED Depth Spin.
I'm going to trust Hackbert since he created the Tin Fins Discord.
Yeah, I didn't see Storm kill in this version.
Nope, too late. Too late.
Tin fins, titanium fins, steel fins, aluminum fins.
Yeah, no Storm kill in this version. All right, let's take a look at our other match. Look at this. Looks like there's like a little baby at the table
Very,
playing
very
with the Storm,
exciting.
playing with the Storm counter.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll just...
We have a very young player on stream. He's going to be a hand holder. Right now he's showing the hand to the opponent instead. So
yeah, don't show him that. All right, we'll stay on this other match. So cute.
Starting them early at the shop.
Yep. Get it ingrained into their head. Legacy.
Legacy is the
only way to play Magic. Legacy and Cube. Let me play.
Legacy's the format you want to go into.
Oh, so just a quick off topic, real quick. I need to speak about this.
Yeah.
I need to be heard. All right. I don't need anybody to say anything if they don't want. The Golden Knights 7-0 against the Sharks last night. 7-0. Okay, sorry, that's all I had to say.
Yeah, it was a little sloppy. I think there should have been an unmask in there just to make sure that the coast is clear, but ended up not mattering.
Yeah. I mean, at first my mind was saying like,
yeah, it's a new dual deck.
Yep, Golden Knights versus Sharks. Yep. It's sports ball. Mm-hmm. Except for there is no ball. It's still sports.
There's a puck.
It's sports puck. What a way to ruin the mood with sports, Kyer. I don't think I've ever ruined a mood before. That's just unlike me.
It was first time for everything.
It felt good. like I want to do it more.
Calm down.
I can get Matt to start talking about baseball, so quiet you. Matt knows it's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he should price his job to kill the mood.
One extra time to have an extra draw 7, yeah. I could see that.
So what is the Gristle Storm deck being called? Because you remember when Bryce and I played that deck. That was sweet. It was very Tin Fins-ish, except for it had like Maggots of the Will and like other things like that.
I've heard that one called like, I don't know.
That's what's
Bizarro
so crazy,
Storm.
Rackham, like that's exactly what's so insane. Is like whoever would have seen it, who like nobody would have expected this.
Mm-hmm.
No one. They're in their second round of the playoffs and they haven't lost a single game in the playoffs. It's insane. All right, there's that $500 Mox Diamond. I hate you all.
Well, it's
Why do you have
definitely
to tell me?
definitely lands with the $sign here. So
Yep.
oh, switching out what we're pitching.
Vivi's like, yeah, don't know what this is, but I like it. Yeah, this is a fun deck to watch. Definitely interesting. All right, just swamp and pass.
Bizarro is pretty sweet.
right.
All right, there's Punishing Fire.
Yep, Grove's in. Oh, that wasn't you, Vivi. Sorry. Sorry, I just saw blue, and I just thought you. My bad. Yeah, you're both blue. My bad. Sorry, blue team.
All right, Entomb, Gristle. Exhume, Gristle. Draw 7.
So if he can go off now, there is no possibility to.
Doesn't have to
The
worry
Punishing
about
Fire.
Punishing Fire. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yep.
A lot
Down to
of
6.
ways to go though. Still, he has to find a mana source. Can't be a land. Has to find a way to kill here. Looks like he's got a decent amount of mana. I think this might
he's
be
going
the
to be
turn
able
too.
to. Yeah. I mean, even if he passes the turn, there's a Gristlebrand, right?
True.
And even
So
if
you have the children. So we're going to
Okay.
see 2 more activations here. More petals. I think Drew's excited. He's moving quick.
yeah, he's like, I got this. There's no way I don't got this. All right.
I think I saw another children in there too, so that's going to be pretty good. Oh,
Triple Dark
Dark
Ritual.
Rit, Dark Rit, Dark Rit. Shallow Grave. Bring back my children. Children.
Second.
Sack it.
Get a million life. Yeah, he's not even going to move his
Gain
life total.
plenty of life.
He's like, I'm going to draw pretty much the rest.
Plenty of life. Takes a bit to go off. Yeah, this seems pretty solid though.
I mean, it does hack Bert, but this is turn 2.
This is not taking much time to do. He can probably slow it down a little bit. I think he's just really excited. I would be too. This
4
is
LEDs.
sweet.
2 cards left in library.
Very sweet. Turn 2, draw my deck. Alright, here comes Living Wish. Living Wish for Labman, I'm assuming we're going to sack all the LEDs in response. Get that mana. How wild would it be to see, like, what's it called?
Dang.
Man.
Drew just taking care of the legend. Oh, just
tough matchup for lands, for sure.
awful. Yeah,
Like,
terrible matchup.
That's kind of how some of the Storm matchups go too versus lands. It's just very easy to get through what they're doing because you're not
Yes.
interacting in ways that they can really deal with.
It did take a little bit of luck to hit the win that turn.
Yeah, but it's not that hard to do when you're drawing 14 cards. Like,
No. It had to be in that first 14.
by the time you've
So-
gone like Child into the next set,
You're
like,
done. Yeah. The deck
Yeah.
is gas. Exactly.
Very explosive, very powerful stuff. Like,
All right, let's check up on what's going on our other table here. There's a lot of dice. I don't really know what they're doing there. Oh, this is Brian.
All
Oh,
right.
that was his daughter who was playing with the cards. Okay. Brian on Food Chain, and then who did we have as our other player? Dylan.
see some depth stuff going on. Looks like the normal version.
I'm gonna spell it how I've been told to spell it. I don't know if it's a misspell. Sorry.
Dylan, we hope we spelled your name right.
Yeah, this looks like Turbo Depths to me. Or Unmask? No, this might be a similar deck.
could be.
Yeah, this might be another
Not
Reanimator
normal.
depths
Unmask is there. You're right.
style deck.
Interesting.
Now, yes, we see a 2020 coming in, okay? But let's be real here. Brian does not care about a 2020 on this point state. Maybe if like a Sinjuri step happened, then
Yeah.
we'd be talking about
Step would be wild.
yeah, step would be insane. But I don't think that's something that's going to be in his deck. Some older Turbo Depths decks did run Unmask. Okay. There's a surprising glare on those lands. It just looks like double swamp though.
I think it's double swamp stage.
I love how Brian has to be playing with the dice while he's playing the match. Poor Dylan's like, oh my goodness.
All right, we're going to start off with a Lake of the Dead. Definitely not normal.
Wow, did you just reference towards our store as Punt City Games? Interesting. I'd never thought of us as that.
Into a Dark Rid. Lake of the Dead, huh?
Dylan is playing Depths Reanimator. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. Appreciate it.
So we got Hardcast Crystal Brand.
What?
And that's going to get counted.
Hackbert gets to be on Eternal Dirtles, and I don't. What the heck, Nate? What the heck? What are you doing? You're letting this guy onto your podcast?
It's almost like you know something.
You think Hackbert knows stuff?
Huh?
Nobody wants to hear about next week. You wanna know what's sad? He's right. He's so right. Oh man. All right, so we get to see the continuation of this.
Hackbert, are there any ways that that Dylan can kind of force through this 2020, or is he just kind of left at the mercy of Brian's creatures?
Yeah, this is just insane. So I could talk about Jund. I mean, I could. I mean, I know that you're
Talk
completely
about Rancor.
you're messing with me. I could talk about Rancor. I can
Looks
talk about
like-
a lot of decks.
Looks
think
like
commentary.
that's going to do it.
Yeah.
Mono Black Reanimator, not sure. Yeah, I couldn't really think of a way, like, unless there's a way to give it fear or something that's really weird, like...
Yeah, I would not expect Step to be in
Yeah.
there.
I would definitely not expect Step to be.
The only reason I even brought it up is because that's like the only card I could think of that a deck like that could run that could get them out of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, if it's mono black, they don't have crop rot. So
Yeah.
you're not you're only playing Century Step if you're a crop rot deck. Looks like they are going to another game. So I'm just gonna mark these guys 1-1 and hope I'm right. Mutilate.
Mutilated'd be interesting, but then the 2020 would lose.
It might not kill.
Yeah. Yeah, something to
If you
give
mutilate.
fear, right? Like, I don't know what that would be, but... Oh, I know what they could do. They could do, like, Rite of... whatever to fling it.
Oh yeah, right of consumption.
Rite of Consumption.
Yeah.
Rite of Consumption to fling is probably the most likely
That actually
thing.
sounds like something
Yeah.
that could be in their sideboard as well.
Yeah.
Key to the City.
Key to the City. That would be some tech.
That card is like
Man.
actually just
Like,
fine.
discard Gristlebrand to the graveyard off of it.
and it gets-
Untap, draw
that
a
would be-
card.
That'd be just
like-
fine.
That'd be some tech. Swamp Walk. Yeah. Funeral Charm. Funeral Charm Urborg. That's kind of techy.
No, Matt's made me sold. It's Key to the City. That's what he was
Key to
looking
the
for.
City. Yeah.
That was the dream top deck.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. Key to the City. Legacy All-Star.
Legacy All-Star. I've actually been using it in a lot of weird things. So like playing casual Magic around the store, it's usually like EDH or like Brawl recently. I swear Key to the City just ends up in all the decks just because, I don't know, just useful.
Because it's sweet.
I mean, if anything, it's like looting you. You just draw a new card.
Mm-hmm. Funeral Charm Overdress.
My favorite thing about Key is like I'll make it a creature with Tezzeret and I'll attack,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then like the next turn it untaps and you and you can pay
Get
2 and
down,
draw.
yeah. That's cute.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Later, Hackbert.
Have fun in the factory.
Don't die. It's hard to explain.
I've never tried explaining that.
No, you can definitely come down and do that. Lots of people are super happy to give you some advice and figure things out.
Oh yeah, and you know what, Grasshopper Sage, I'm usually here during like any time after noon. So if you're local and you want to come in and learn how to play Magic, I would be more than happy to teach. So
Hackbert, that just makes it harder to explain when you die.
Yes, Paragon has one of the best communities I've ever been a part of, and I've been playing for almost 11 years now, and I'm more impressed by this community than I've ever been with any other in Utah. So that's my experience, but I'm sure people in our chat will troll about that one. I fully expect it.
So Dylan starting things off with the Thoughtseize. Sees double Brainstorm, Force of Will times 2, it looks like, and Strix in a Deathrite.
You're taking Deathrite here.
He can't cast the Deathrite.
Oh, he can't.
I mean, I kind of feel like you have to take one of the forces. You're going to have to fight through him anyway. He's got Brainstorm. If he only had one Brainstorm, you'd take the Brainstorm. But with 2 Brainstorms, hard to say. Looks like he decides to take one Brainstorm.
Jorgensen, I am complete opposite of how impressed Bryce is with our followers. How impressed I am is complete opposite when it comes to our community.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bryce is not impressed with our followers. Zero impressed. What a fool.
All right, so Brian placed that second Brainstorm that we saw, looking for lands.
He needs
a lot of lands.
He needs a fetch.
Yeah.
Honestly, Grasshopper Sage, thank you so much for the follow. Honestly, this was a ridiculously risky hand for him.
Definitely.
If he misses on the he found it. But if he misses, he's dead on the spot. Like the game is over. You know, he probably could have mulliganed into a hand that actually like had play to it.
I think he figured double force is really good in the matchup, and he wanted to have access to it.
Yeah.
And figured double Brainstorm can hopefully get through some number of draws to get there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, but still, it
was risky. Definitely risky.
I do think that's very risky.
Yeah. Brian gets away with it though. He was able to fetch up a Bayou. He's going to be able to play that. Play a Ponder and then probably play a Deathrite.
That's what I would expect to see. So he just chooses to shuffle. That's man. This has got to be a really, really good sign from Dylan. I'm putting Rihanna depths. That's what I'm calling it.
Ah. I need to put Rihanna depths into a Tesserator shell just so you can call it Rihanna Depthserator.
No thanks.
Come on, man.
All these people coming in here, telling me what to do, like they know my life, like they know what I want and what's best for me.
Don't know me.
You
Don't know my life. All right, here comes an unmask.
didn't get to see what the there we go.
Pitching dark red. We're gonna stare at
Strix Force Abrupt Decay land.
that's what it looks like.
I think it's the Catacombs.
You're on it, Captain. All right. Kappa.
Isn't the captain supposed to tell people what to do? Not opposite.
Yeah.
All right, so he takes a Belpal Strix. That's slightly surprising, isn't it? Not taking a Force of Will.
So I think he's trying to get it to a point where Brian's going to have to pitch force to force.
Okay. Now, this
It's
is
a little
triple
weird.
swamp from Dylan. So because Deathrite Shaman's on the board, I don't think that reanimating anything's ever going to do much from this. Matt, you're a major?
Well, I'm not a doctor. I didn't say anything about being a major or not.
You're right.
So
you
we're
never
going to
did.
see a collective brutality here to take care of that death right. And that's going to get forced. Force pitching force.
Okay.
And I think if you're Dylan, you're pretty happy about that. Like, you'd like to get that death right gone, but at the same time, you just got rid of 2 force of wills. It's basically a pretty good hymn to Torah.
We're talking not studies.
Jeez.
Captain, all you need to know about Matt is that he's not a doctor. That is all you need to know.
Both illiterates, yeah.
Hey, not wrong.
I don't need to read.
Yeah, yeah. Gotta misspell illiterates.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's the Entomb. In the face of a Deathrite Shaman.
All you have to do is say I win when you throw your cards down on the table. Say I win.
There's a good old glare on that. I do not see what he got.
Yeah, really hard to see. Oh, it looks like Grave Titan is the get. Yeah.
Thank you. We've got Paul the Legend Berman over there, over at the table, keeping the stream updated.
Doing work. Finishes his match and then comes over and gives us the update.
Helps us little people.
All right. Deathrite activate. Target that Grave Titan.
Surprise!
And no responses there.
Wow, just Entomb for no value.
Let it happen. Brian passes turn. Dylan with the draw. Watch your own match.
You're not watching your own match. Get out of here.
Brian cracking couple lands.
This has been a weird draw from both players.
Definitely. Well, Dylan has had to fight through double force of will and trying to get things going. And after the initial sort of push to draw lands, Brian really hasn't drawn much.
Yeah, Paul, that was just a good time.
Yeah.
That was just a good time.
For sure.
If you're ever wondering what a good time looks like,
that's what it is.
Go and watch Drew and Paul's match.
You can be comforted by the fact that your Mox diamonds are worth infinite.
Mm-hmm. That the lands deck just goes up and up and up like crazy by the week. That deck has probably increased by like $5,000 in the last like 2 months.
Yeesh. Whoa.
Probably
Vanillion
higher.
Click.
Yeah. Vanillion Click.
So we see Reanimate, Entomb, Dark Writ, and Exhume.
I don't even know if you want to take anything from this hand.
I'd be tempted just to let him have it. There's nothing that really you can't deal with at the moment. He's going to take the Entomb.
I mean, if you're taking anything, you're taking the Entomb. But even then,
And here comes the draw.
I actually think I would be more scared of what could come off the top of the deck than that Entomb. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong to feel that way, but
Yeah, definitely. Or you could just sit on it. I mean, it's not like it's going down anytime soon. All right, Lotus Petal. And
here's a Dark Depths.
Dark Depths.
See, that's the card that Brian doesn't want to see right now. Is
definitely,
you know, a move towards that.
One more year and buy 4. Yeah. 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 Everything's going up right now, especially on the reserve list.
Yeah, I've heard like a lot of rumors about people who, you know, just learned what Magic was, and they learned because of the investment promise of what reserve list cards are doing right now, and the fact that Wizards has promised not to reprint them, and people are just like, "What? You mean I can just buy in to something that will 100% earn me money?" That's insane.
It's kind of a ridiculous way to look at a card game.
It is.
All right, here comes an attack. And we're going to see Dark Ritual. And they're going to say, okay.
just Dark Ritual.
Block with my Dark Ritual.
All right, Brian takes this one. So this is going to be a fun finals. I think we're going to have Drew on this this LED Depth Fins deck.
Yeah.
Against Brian on Food Chain. Yeah, it's exactly. It's an unregulated stock market. It's insane.
Yep.
But who would have thought that the prices would have done this fast though? Look how many spikes there have been in the last couple of months. It's insane.
Yeah, I've kind of been surprised that every chance they've gotten to undo the reserve list, they've just kind of doubled down on it. It's been really kind of an interesting thing to see. I think it'll get to a point where it's just not going to be sustainable. Like, it's really sad to see a format like that is as good as Legacy kind of go the route of Vintage, where it's
Nobody
pretty
gets to
much
play it
going
anymore,
to be unplayable,
except for the people who
except
like,
for people who
who
already
bought in
have-
early.
Yeah, exactly. Best way to play Vintage? Have been playing Magic for over 25 years.
Yeah, you could play online as well.
Yeah.
But that doesn't.
Playing online, though, it's still hard to find people who want to play it online.
Vintage, really?
Yeah. Like outside of the weekly tournament.
Yeah. New supply is You're wondering if they'll back out? Well, the problem is they're the higher these go, the more they have to buckle down.
Yeah.
Because you think that they would have made people mad before if they had abolished the reserve list. Think about now, after people who invested money into these collections and it's finally paying off at an extreme percentage. Okay, imagine the people you're making mad now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird spot to be in at the moment. I think Legacy is kind of at this point where it's gonna be hit hard soon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, there's not a lot of supply. There's a lot of demand.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. It's scary. Here I was wanting to buy my diamonds, and now I'm looking at it going, I am definitely not buying my diamonds.
Yeah.
Like, it went from, I would really like to buy those, to, oh, I'm not buying those. No way.
They've said that they won't do that with. They won't do functional reprints. That's a part of the guarantee. On
Yeah,
the,
they would need to be a reprint
So-
that can kind of bridge the gap between the functional and something new.
Yeah.
That's the only way they could do it. And there's so many reserve list cards that are going up right now that actually are seeing play in Legacy that there's just no way that's gonna happen. Everybody will play D&T and burn. Yeah. But nobody wants a format that it is the way it is because
Right.
these are the decks you can afford, not these are the decks I want to play because they're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Secretive Ox, it kind of depends. Like, I agree, prices will probably settle. There's going to be a point, like, it's unsustainable to keep going up and up and up. But whether they level out and go back down, that's another thing altogether. Plus, who knows, like, what decks will be on top in the next 3-4 years down the road. Like, it's really hard to tell.
It is. The spec prices won't crash until the legacy format dies. That's not happening anytime soon. There's too many people who are in and prefer to stay in.
Wizards has already shown they really don't care about legacy.
No.
Like, they're much more concerned with modern and up, and they're starting to move away from modern.
Yeah, they're more focused on standard right now. Which is fine. They're in the business.
Wizards makes money off of their sets, their new sets, right?
They are in the business to sell packs.
Yeah.
And like modern and legacy have nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Wizards makes absolutely zero off of the secondary market, right? So,
Yeah.
like, really they only care about standard and draft and things like that. Yeah, exactly. Scary.
Not necessarily zero. Not necessarily zero off the secondary market. Like when they release like expeditions and stuff.
Yeah,
This is incentive for people to buy. Like more people are going to buy packs
For
because of the secondary market. It's kind of a weird way around it, but
right. Like modern Masters type sets and stuff like that are different. But like for the most part, they're just making money off of standard and those
Yes.
things. So
right. Yeah. The reprinted sets are definitely based on the secondary market. You're absolutely right. But we were talking about standard though. Like when they are printing new cards, they are not thinking about the secondary market.
I don't know. I think you still see types like expeditions. Like you see them doing things with like the masterpieces and with uh, the invocations and stuff like that. And like the Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
It was in their last report, huh? Hasbro listed 20% less growth than expected. Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, but like Hasbro overall is not Wizards. Like
Yeah.
Wizards part of Hasbro. Like, but I don't know.
What was I just said? What was said about the spellbooks? Sorry, I missed that. Oh, I'm not sure. So M25 was for standard? No, they actually have to please the people who are buying their packs. The secondary market is causing them to make stuff like that, but they're not acknowledging the secondary market. They're acknowledging the people who are acknowledging the secondary market. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not acknowledging the secondary market directly. They're acknowledging the players. Like they want to reprint things because the players demand reprint. Okay, but the players only demand reprint because of the secondary market. I think that makes sense. It makes sense in my head. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
All right. Looks like we got players sitting down.
So same
Yeah.
4 players.
Dylan. All you gotta do is change the name.
Oh.
Round 4 coming up.
One more to go, guys. What would we call it? LED depth something?
Depth fins.
Oh yeah,
Depth fin.
let's call it that. Here we go. I mean, we're back to Brian with his weird layout of chips and dice.
He's got his little castle and moat ready to go.
Right, Hasbro does pretty much every card game, right? Like they're over Force of Will, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right.
What else is out? There's a couple other card games that are also
Certainly all the
working.
major ones for sure that are in paper.
They do Dragon Ball Z too. Probably.
I think they do.
I think they do. Yeah, that's a lot, and most of those are failing card games.
Mm-hmm. All right, Thoughtseize, target Brian.
I thought Pokemon was Hasbro. Were they not Scary Rare? I wasn't sure. I was just saying what I thought they were over. It's time updated. That's not right. What the? That's wrong. That's why.
There we go.
Alright.
All right. So, probably not what a Reanimator deck wants to see is a turn 1 Relic of Progenitus.
That is mean. Oh, okay, Jorgensen. Yeah. Yeah, so Pokemon is not under Hasbro. That makes sense. Raceland, I'm not sure what that has to do with anything, but thank you.
It has more to do with hockey.
By the way, Raceland, what do you think of what did you think of the cube list I sent you? I got your reply, but I wanted to know. Bald Lions. Thank you. Thank you so much for the follow.
There's an echo in here.
Whoa. There was no echo. That was unison. That was weird.
Oh, man.
That was weird. Turn 1 Relic. God, I hate you, Brian. That's right. Food Chain plays a main deck Relic. This is used A, to cantrip, or maybe that's B. I don't know. But the other big use is it keeps your Griffins and your Eternal Scourge in exile. Not to mention, it kind of doubles. Jeez, it kind of doubles as a hate card, right? And that's what it's looking like right now. As I throw the thing I'm fiddling with in my hands.
Of course.
Happens at least once per stream. Don't judge me.
So Deathrite added to the board for Brian.
Yes, thank you, Racelim. I appreciate it. I actually redid a ton of stuff on it last night. I'm not sure if you saw it when I redid it or after, so you definitely take. It should automatically update. But I actually have like some cards right here for it that I'm making some switches due to Dominaria. So I'll be switching like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in my cube. 8 cards in my cube, and 6 of those are Dominaria cards. That's crazy.
I'm more excited about the unset cards, to be honest.
The 2 unset cards I'm putting in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So I guess it's only 4 Dominaria cards that I'm putting in. Yeah, I'll get my list updated tonight. That's when I'll get it updated. I'm running a cube on Sunday, so hopefully I can have it all up to date and changed.
All right, double fetch out of Drew. Gonna get a swamp and a bayou.
Oh, you're looking at replicating it? I recommend it. I've cubed many times. It is quite balanced. It's a little mid-range friendly, and it's high multicolor. But I've been comboed out. I've been aggroed. I've won with aggro decks many times. And you can play control easily as well. And then of course it has a lot of archetypes. It's 720 cards though, so it's hard to keep your archetypes like really tight.
It's a big cube.
Yeah, it's a big cube. For sure. All right.
Gristle's the get. Petals the play. Unmask.
All right, let's clear the way.
Pitch, shake, zoom.
Yep.
Target himself. Get Gristlebrand down in there.
Oh, he can't exit this turn. Or Shallow Grave.
He's just gonna hold off there. Kind of surprising to see this in the face of Deathrite and Relic.
Wait, Gristlebrand is in the graveyard right now?
Yeah. He unmasked himself.
Can't he just... What? Don't you just activate Deathrite Shaman and then crack your Relic?
That's what I would think. So we're going to see Shallow Grave in response, and then we're going to see a crack.
Yeah, I think everybody expected this.
Yeah.
Okay. This puts Brian in an amazing position. I mean, granted, he had a relic of Virginitas.
Yeah.
He was in a pretty good position to begin with, but now he knows. Yeah, he knows the cards that are in Drew's hand. Like, he pretty much needs to top deck.
Yeah.
Card into card to win, right?
Yeah.
And Burial Rites is uncastable from this point, and even if he found a way to put it in his graveyard, he'd still need a land to activate it or to cast it. Sorry.
When Deathrite can get rid of whatever goes to the graveyard currently. Nothing instant speed about it. Lost that Shallow Grave. Could be Flory.
Yeah, I mean,
It seemed like kind of an odd spot to go for. I think that holding on might have been better. And I kind of feel like in this matchup, you might want to be waiting until you've got enough backup to go for it. Like if he had access to a second Shallow Grave there, then maybe he can wait.
okay.
All right.
Well, there's a Hex Mage. That's a thing.
2-1 first strike. One step closer to a 20-20.
Yeah, MG Floor. I do think that that's what he was going for, though. I mean, you got to clear it at some point. But I'm with Matt. I think he cleared it at a slightly odd spot.
Mm-hmm.
Why clear it when you have nothing in your hand, right?
Yeah.
And in clearing it the way that he did, he also showed Brian what was up.
I got nothing.
Hey, look, here I have nothing, and now you know exactly what's going on. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm cracking my relic. Like,
right.
Everybody knows what's going on here. We know what's happening. Okay, good. Proceed. What do we got here?
Food chain.
Well, that's a good one. Here's an attack for 2, and we'll probably just have it pass the turn. Nope.
Looks like
nope.
we're sacking.
Nope. All right, 6 mana. There's a Griffin.
Sack Griffin a bunch. And kill
Eternal
you.
Scourge.
I'm gonna
remove the counters.
And I'll
He's just gonna scoop.
Yeah. Shoot you a million times.
I'm gonna remove the counters from your Eternal Scourge so it gets exiled. Targeted it. Alright, Brian gets this one. We'll take a look at what's going on our backup match here. Looks like things are definitely happening. So look at this. Who wins versus series? Gristlebrand versus Caracas.
Well, it depends. Caracas doesn't look like it's doing much here, to be honest. Dylan is down to 2, but looks like he's gone off. Here we're going to see an activation. It's like, whoa, maybe I want to do something else. Gristlebrand wins, not even kidding.
No, you shouldn't be kidding. This is actually interesting. Like, depending on what the deck's designed to do, it really could be either one.
So, Flory, Brian won by casting a ridiculously large walking ballista and just shot down Drew to death. That's how he won.
Yep. So, usually the deck will play with, you know, the cards you can cast from exile with Food Chain, right? So those 2 cards create infinite mana, and it pretty much means that you have this extremely resilient 3/3 flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Walking Ballista.
Yep, it was an altar, so I'm not surprised you didn't.
I didn't actually see the ballista in his hand, but I assume he either had it and just showed Drew either that, or I don't know.
I saw it right at the end there.
Okay. You did see it?
Yeah.
In his hand? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It was a running ballista. Yeah.
Gotta make that joke every time.
Dark Depths is a pretty popular secondary win condition in these decks here that we've been watching a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
Here we see an Exhume.
It's interesting that we have two of these decks like doing as well as they are in this tournament because we don't see them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Drew's played it for the last week or so, but all right, here we go. Yes, lands just won
Wow.
by Thespian staging a Mishra's Factory
Wow.
and taking
attacking.
down.
Wow.
So in this week's matchup,
Yep.
Caracas wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Caracas took that game over Griselbrand.
Because sometimes when you're the lands deck, you just need to attack with some lands. You know, doesn't happen often.
When lands attack.
Typically, Mishra's Factory is only in the lands deck to beat sacrifice effects like Diabolic Edict.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are going to board in things like that against lands to keep from dying, right? You kill their 20/20. You know that there's going to be another one in a turn or two, but you just need that. Yeah, his life was low because he paid a bunch of life to draw cards, and then the Griselbrand got bounced, so he was never able to gain anything back.
Mm-hmm. Copy Caracas instead.
Well, Captain QC.
Pro tip.
Good thing you weren't there then, because you would have lost that game. This is Legacy. This is where Mishra's Factory have to attack right into Hex Mages.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all normal things.
Yep.
That you expect to happen.
And to be fair, we don't know. We actually don't know whether it was the stage or the factory that got through.
We don't.
We don't know. We don't know which one would have got blocked.
We don't. It's impossible to know. You don't want to lose to a stage, though. Do you want to lose to a stage, or do you want to lose to a factory?
I'd rather lose to a factory.
Really?
Yeah.
It's one of those things like, would you rather? Would you rather die in a factory or die on a stage? I pick stage. That'd be cooler. No, that might be embarrassing. Because I would care because I'm dying.
Stage MVP ban stage.
Clearly the issue with Legacy right now.
That would be a Wizards ban.
We're gonna ban Thespian stage.
Thespian stage.
That card is just a problem.
Wrecking all the formats.
It enables plenty of decks to work and function. We don't want that.
So speaking of like deck diversity and stuff like that, I don't know if you looked at the most recent Magic Online Legacy Challenge.
I didn't.
Only one Delver deck in the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
2 Reanimator decks. I think there was a Maverick deck or something like that. Stompy deck and a couple Storm decks, I think.
I feel like it's only GP level that people are just like, run Delver and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that is exactly, but I love to hear that. You know.
Yeah.
There's a million good decks in Legacy, so.
Almost as if the meta is adjusting.
Wouldn't that be nice? Don't get too cocky.
I mean, like, all these decks are good decks, right?
Yeah.
Like, how they do on any specific day, like, kind of varies a little bit. There's definitely, like, times where Delver just seems like the unbeatable powerhouse that it is, and, like, you know,
yeah,
that's what everyone should be doing and everyone should be playing. But then you look at the format and you go, well, look at all these fun things I could be doing. I'm not giving up a ton of percentage in doing them. Like, yeah, QC, I don't know what the reason is, to be honest. Thought it was pretty cool, though. All right, so we're going to Entomb. right in the face a double death ray. Only one of those death rays is active, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Like this was Drew's window, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Deathray can't get in his way, so let's go for it. And sure enough,
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so
Let's
Dark
see.
Depths is there, and there can be a 20/20 this next turn. So he's probably not too concerned.
Yep.
But at the same time,
2020 is a big deal.
it definitely is. We'll see what Brian has to to respond to that, but
Drew doesn't even have to waste any of his dark grids to get this going either.
yeah, right. He just like got his hand, got everywhere, just yep. Kind of techie too because he entombed Gristlebrand, but look, there was no reanimation spell in his hand.
Yep. Good bait.
Yeah, smart play. Got Brian good.
Well, and Brian has to go for it there because he's got his shields down, right? Like,
yeah. We'll see what Brian has. He's got plenty of flyers. He has what it takes to play a Missile Griffin this turn, or to play a Belful Strix, or just stay in this game for a couple more turns. But we'll have to see what's in his hand and what he's able to do.
Mm-hmm. Like Mist Hollow Griffin would be the blowout, right? Like you're able to play Griffin, block with Griffin, activate Deathrite,
put it in your
put
exile.
it into your exile, gain 2 life, and do that over and over and over again, and then
Yeah,
you
and then
get to a point where you have
right.
enough mana to get that second Deathrite.
Not only that, but once you've gained enough life to be above 20,
Well,
now this is not.
That's gonna be.
We're gonna get a game 3.
I don't see a way out of this unless Brian
Does
has
he have
an
edicts?
If Brian has an edict, he's still fine.
Well, he didn't edict there, and
In for 20. And
yep,
Brian
got
scoops it up.
Yeah, just did not have it.
The blocky Griffin chain, yeah.
Start the blocky Griffin.
That's what blockchain means, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Well, that was a game.
What was it? Wait, game 2's already done?
It was a game.
What happened?
It was a game.
Where was I?
You were here.
Oh.
I thought you were here.
Oh, that's weird.
Oh.
Let's take a look at what's going on over here. We got a Sphere of Resistance.
Sphere de Resistance.
And that's going to do a lot when Dylan's stuck on one land that can tap for mana.
Yeah. Wasteland in play 2, doing a good job of making sure that nothing funny is going to happen off of that.
From what I can tell, it looks like Paul is firmly in the driver's seat. Like I don't actually see. Man, Dylan would need something very, very good.
There's a stage. Lands are definitely a start.
There's a
There's a
bog.
bog. Wonder who he's going to target. It looks like he targets Dylan.
Good choice.
Yeah. Pass his turn back to Paul. Paul's going to make his own 20/20 here.
Want to fight?
That's pretty cute. Attack for 20, and
Yeah,
Dylan's
that's
going
just
to
it.
scoop it up.
Oh, Lake of the
Oh,
Dead.
So many lakes of the dead. Not so many swamps.
All
Back
right.
to our shuffle cams.
So Paul 1-2-0. Just real quick.
Oh, geez,
Got
spaghetti
there.
monsters. I haven't seen any spaghetti monsters.
Where have you been looking?
Hmm?
Where have you been looking?
Obviously not in the right spots.
Obviously. Alright, there's a scry, and I think we'll be on our way in a moment. Yeah, this is gonna be Brian's new thing. Where he like has to put all the dice like on the board. Does he have to be that ridiculous?
He's got his little castle and his moat.
Oh my goodness, that's totally what he's doing. I thought he was just trying to display Jorgensen's awesome chips.
They are pretty cool.
Yep.
Off to the races here. Baleful Strick's going to draw a card. And turn one Deathrite Shaman. Pretty
Wow.
good.
So this I would feel so. You gotta think that Brian has a surgical, right? You're running out Baleful Strix on the turn that like if Drew entombed there, that would just be game, right?
Yeah.
Nice DRS. Here's Mama's age.
Other things he could have surgical. He could have Force of Will. Definitely favors some form of interaction.
Oh, speaking of the chips, Jorgensen, we've misplaced our we only have one black chip now.
Mm-hmm.
Black mana symbol chip. I don't know if you can do orders of just one chip. I highly doubt it, but
Here comes Living Wish.
we're missing one. Sad face.
Drew chooses to find a stage. Pass his turn.
Yeah, it is terrible. I don't know if somebody stole it or we just misplaced it, or it might just be under some piece of furniture. I'm not really sure.
All right. Well,
We can't find it.
So Brian plays down the chain, and Drew's very shocked that he gets another turn here.
Reanimate's $18. Yep, that is true. I think it's a fair price for it. It's a good card. He's totally protected. As long as the castle stands, he is invulnerable.
Maybe Brian thinks he's the monarch.
Maybe he does.
Someone should inform him that he's not.
So what happens when a creature attacks? Does he inform his opponent that he has moat? There's manipulate. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Does he have the kill?
He just needs a ballista.
If he has Ballista, he's good to go. If not, he's still in a pretty good spot. But
Even this right here, though, like Drew would have to go off through Lapman, right?
Yeah.
And Brian also has forces. He's also got Abrupt Decays in his deck
sure.
that he could interact with a Lapman kill.
Now, if Drew is going off, he should be able to unmask before he goes for the lab man.
He would need to.
But at the same time, it should never really get that far if Brian has force, right?
Game's over without Ballista, huh? You think Drew's just gonna go off if he gets another chance?
We'll see what happens.
Very possible. Very possible.
Drew's just kind of saying, "Well, am I dead? Do you have the kill?
So I'm
Am
dead
I
now?
dead?
Am I dead?
How about now? Am I dead? No? How about now?" Patiently waiting, hands go to the lab.
So Brian has 3 Walking Ballista and a Trinket Mage in his deck.
Mm-hmm.
It would take one of those specifically. So here's a sacrifice.
Scourge.
And all 3 Griffins.
All 3 Griffin.
There they are. We got a board full of things. There is no Ballista.
Okay. Well, now it's on Drew. Drew a shallow grave. Has a 2020 at his disposal if he wants it.
Yeah, so the 2020 is not going to do anything here.
Yeah.
But a Gristlebrand would. And, of course, Brian, careful to keep that Deathrite Shaman, versatile.
Mm-hmm.
Activate at the right times. Don't want any reanimating shenanigans going on.
Well, turn gets passed back to Brian, end of turn, cracking fetch.
Probably just exiling this Manipulate Fate. Yep. Down to 16 goes Drew, and I only see 14 potential damage here.
Yep, 14. Drew might be in the position to just block with a 2020 here, lose a land, and save 3 life.
Yeah, he'd have to. I don't think that saves him a turn, though. That's what's so bad about the Dark Depths. It's like, I think he just dies the next turn anyway.
So I guess the big problem here is going down to such a low life total, Gristlebrand becomes practically unusable. Yep.
So sacking to Food Chain, man.
And he can't even swing in and gain life off of Gristlebrand because Brian will just sack whichever creature is blocking the Gristlebrand to the Food Chain.
Okay, so Manipulate Fate number 2. Now this is always kind of an unfortunate draw for Brian because this is not what he wants to see. He already has all the things that he needs to get. So what he's going to do is he's going to take 3 cards in his deck that he does not want to draw and exile them. But really, he's just casting the Manipulate Fate for the draw spell and
minor deck thinning.
The Deathrite activation, I think. Yeah.
Get rid of those surgicals. Not doing much here.
Well, that's just teasing. I don't need these surgicals. Look how confident I am. Yeah, good thing the card replaces itself. Exactly. and that's the other thing, is it also pitches the Force of Will. The card just does everything for his deck. It's incredible.
It's very strong.
Like, even Manipulate Fate number 2 is, like, still okay. At worst.
Alright, turn past, Drew draws.
Exactly. It's a play of confidence. You can't beat me.
Alright, LED. Land. Shallow Grave. In response, crack LED. Pitch my hand.
So it's slightly
Shallow
off screen.
We're going to see Deathrite activate. Get rid of
Probably
Gristlebrand. Attack for 20. And that'll do.
Yep. And Brian's just like, okay, easy.
Still has.
Yeah, still has Force of Will in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, still had a surgical. Oh, that's funny.
Still had a surgical. Wow.
Exiles 2 surgicals. He's like, I got nothing.
Food Chain takes it.
This is rigged. The store owner is winning with Food Chain every time he plays. Somebody needs to contact somebody about this. Jeez, what a fool. Right? Who plays 3 surgicals? That's like one too many. That's one too many. Right.
Throw the light pad at him. I think we learned that staying behind a moat in a castle is cheating.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to let him know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for our Friday Night Magic for this week. You can join us again on Tuesday. Myself. Oh wait, no.
But before that, join us tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we have our team 1K plus event.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. So
More
legacy, modern, standard.
Modern, some standard.
We're gonna very little on standard.
Mainly legacy and modern.
Mainly legacy.
The thing is,
this isn't like Star City where people are choosing what we look at.
No.
We get to choose what we look at. And this is me and Matt we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot of legacy tomorrow. So please join us for that. That should be at noon Mountain Standard Time, I believe. I think that's the start time.
And we got a lot more legacy coming your way.
Yeah, and then of course our regular Tuesday night stream will happen. Bryce and I will be here. It'll be great. +1 for legacy. Yeah, we'll have some legacy. When I'm sure when the legacy games are over, we'll take a look at the modern or the standard games. We're actually going to set up a third camera so that we can check out the standard games if that's the only thing left running, which will be great.
Yeah,
for sure.
So we hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Until then.
Awesome.
Hail
Thanks,
Heroes.
guys.